Chromies!
Welcome to Homies with the Chromies podcast, Drunk Edition. I'm Preston.
I'm Nico, and I'm drunk.
I'm Joey, and
he's also drunk.
Yeah, he's a special guest for this episode. We're recording super late, like 3 a.m. where we're at, and we're all super drunk.
Yeah, it's like 2:52.
Also, we have a dog.
We have a dog. It's my dog. He's a special boy. Almost completely blind and deaf.
Special
but
boy, just like his dad.
I'm autistic as shit.
Does he also have extra chromies?
Of course. I spread them around like they're fucking candy.
Are they like Zots?
Something like that. We have a lot of Zots in the kitchen right now.
Dude, I literally have not touched a Zot. It's just kind of been there.
You know, every time I've been here, I've wondered why the fuck are there so many Zots?
I've been using them for alcoholic beverages, believe it or not. Sometimes they actually end up and they're really good.
Wait, you've been putting them in alcohol beverages this whole time?
And you didn't tell anybody? What the hell is wrong with you?
What is wrong with you?
Exactly.
Actually, but you've even drank one of them.
I have?
That first Dragon Scale I ever made you, which is a specialty drink that I make for you, was actually had a Zot in it.
No way.
Yeah,
dude, there was no way. There was no Zot in there.
There was a watermelon Zot in there.
What
Are
the
you
fuck?
fucking serious?
Dead ass.
Why didn't you do that today? What the fuck, man?
Also, warning. Viewer discretion advised. We have some very offensive content. If you are a pussy and don't get offended easily, please, kindly, fucking leave.
Yeah, click away now. Otherwise, it's gonna be too late for you at some point.
Yeah, actually, you just go fuck yourself. Anyway, you
or fuck me. I mean, either way.
I didn't know this.
But you liked it. That's the point. You're just too trying to remember right now.
There was no Zot in my drink you handed. It was fucking dissolved by the time you handed it.
At this
to
point,
me.
we're all too drunk to remember anything. So, I mean,
that's a fair point. That's a fair point. I'm pretty fucking toasted.
Toasted, roasted with a dog on the floor. I'm about to be on the floor. I'm about to pass out.
I got a furry puppy to pet though, so I'm okay.
you lucky
Drunk or
bastard. Come here, Nico. I'll pet you.
Don't pet me.
Come here.
No, that's for after the show.
I'll get the leash ready.
Sorry, I don't have any hamster lore on me, but what's the lore today?
Let's just talk about the drug stories we have for tonight. How about that?
Drunk stories from tonight. What? And like every other drunk story where we get incredibly gay.
And just basically dry fuck each other.
I'm drunk to the point where tonight was the first night I touched one of the homies' asses that I've never touched before. I don't want to say names, but there was one of them that I've never touched before.
That is true. What, you want me to whip my dick out right now?
Sure, why not?
Yeah, please.
Oh, hey, powder.
Oh, shit.
I think I
dropped
need
my phone.
another drink for that. Here you go. Oh, hand me. I'll drink it. Oh, yes.
This is probably the rawest any viewers will ever see us during a very drunk podcast.
I drink that like soda.
How'd it go?
I'm gonna feel it in a minute. So, what do we? Okay, I think I know what we should talk. We should just like start reading like porn.
Reading porn?
Yeah, like on stream. Just start reading porn.
Fan fiction, you mean? Just like
Wattpad? No, I should grab the smut that's in my truck right now.
I'm sorry. Oh,
You have-
No. Is it the one that you found at work?
Yes.
Are you talking about the book?
The vampire
Oh my
porn.
god.
I don't know if I
Why
can
do
ever
you
handle
still
that.
have that?
Because it stays with the truck.
I mean, I guess that's fair.
It's gonna go in the shit stain.
Is it any good though?
It was free
No,
loot
it's
that
fucking
you found.
Okay.
Free loot, bro. You found it on the street. Free loot.
It's free
If
street
if
porn.
whatever we find on the street is free loot, then Preston, you're free loot.
I charge 10 cents an hour.
He left a lot of free loot, that's for sure.
A lot
Loads of it.
hooks. Not to be confused with hookers, though. Let's be clear.
See, I'm not a cheap slut. I'm an affordable hooker.
Wait, is that why Jesse called me Pimpin' P?
Honestly, probably. Wait, did Pimpin' P ever get around to your new job?
No, thank
No?
goodness.
Okay. I'm going to tell Freud to call you 10-inch. Ben
Me
10.
and him are on speaking terms,
Is
really, but
is his message the one that I double tapped and heart reacted?
yes, with a bunch of middle fingers. Yes, that is.
Oh, that's fucking great.
Does anybody else get incredibly horny when they're drunk?
I think that's every man on the face of the planet.
I feel like I get so horny when I'm drunk that I just like turn gay.
Well, I
don't
mean,
know about that part.
see, Nick, my only issue with that is that we're pretty gay together no matter what, so...
And regardless if sober or not, Joey's actually gay.
Hey, only partially, you whore.
Hey, if some people
Close
fucking,
enough.
like, say that, like, you become your true self and you're fucking drunk, does that mean I'm gay?
No.
It's like
What?
saying, like, hey, I would fuck Ryan Reynolds.
I
I'm
mean, that's
gay, but
not
I'd fuck him.
Gay.
It's
Yeah.
not gay.
That's just a unisex
But I
thing.
just
He
get-
is attracted to every gender, regardless.
But when I'm drunk,
Actually,
I just get
no. I
incredibly
found
horny.
someone who said he's not hot, and I wanted to smack the fuck out of him. Like, it's okay, and it's honestly, it's not even really just his looks. Like, he looks hot as fuck, but just the way he is.
Okay, but my
like-
standards for women, and like when I'm drunk, is like super low.
What about your standards for men, big boy?
Oh, they increase. They decrease too.
Oh, fuck yeah.
What?
I won't name
so
the
you're
person,
saying
but there's
I have a
couple women that
chance.
you might know that I would consider fucking right now.
I swear to God,
Oh,
if
yeah,
one of
I'm
those
sure.
starts with a C, I'm gonna hit you.
A C, cunt.
Which one? There's
I do
multiple.
want to fuck a cunt right now.
A dirty vagina?
Yes,
Fair enough.
I'm a dirty man right now.
He's drunk and dirty. Leave him alone.
The only thing wholesome in this room is this dog.
Honestly,
Hey,
dog is
Tyler.
like the purity in the darkness here. Like, Preston, I have a fucking question. Are you like horny? Cause look at your hair.
Is it alfalfa? Beautiful.
It's right in the front, and it literally looks like a horn. Like it curves and then goes to a point.
I can't tell if it's the demon possessing me or the fact that I'm just extremely horny.
Just call my sister. You'll be fine.
Oh,
Just call someone. Just bring some bitches over. I'll close my eyes if they're ugly, bro.
No, Nick, that's what the paper bag from the alcohol is for.
Oh, is that why they come with brown paper bags?
Probably.
Oh my god, I
I'm
did not
sad
know
that
that.
the last chick I even brought home to even like just like hang out. Like one of the homies was like, she is ugly or not very attractive. I'm like, bro, why are your standards so high?
Yeah, what? Dude, fat bitches always have the highest fucking standards.
She
I
wasn't
know,
even that-
right?
that,
They're
she wasn't
like,
heavy
they
or
gotta be
anything.
like this, and this. I'm like, she has to be female.
Bitch, you ain't got no dick since fucking 2001.
Well, honestly, I can't even say you just have to be female. I can't. I'm not allowed to say that, am I?
Dudes are way high standards as well.
Yeah.
Why?
What's with the whole meme of skinny dudes having really big penises? I don't know how much.
I don't know.
believe
Ask Preston. He's one of the skinny guys.
I have no comment.
All right,
go.
Ben 10. Whatever you say. Top 10
I am Preston, also known as Pimpin' P,
and top 10.
also known as God.
Conduit God.
Pushing P.
Fuck. What did Jesse call me? He called me something. What did he call me?
Crazy
Crazy J. Yeah.
And Nasty Nick.
Nasty Nick.
I'm pretty nasty
Well,
right now.
I don't think he gave Ben a fucking name.
Evan's fucking dead in our
Dude,
eyes.
is he really though? Like, nobody's heard from him?
Literally, no one's heard from him.
Literally, a woman offered up her cooch, and he ditched everybody.
Dude,
in
she's
his life.
fucking mid. She's like a 4.
Dude, I've been married for like what, 6 months now, and look at me. I'm drunk with the homies.
You literally have a kid and you're over here just joining us for
Okay,
this fucking drunk
calm down.
podcast.
You're making me
At
sound like a
3:00 in the
bad
morning.
person.
No,
I'm
not
leaving
a
my
bad
kid to
person.
the wife.
I mean, like your kid and your wife are asleep. It's 3:01 a.m.
Okay, I got some stuff to talk about here. Casey's never gonna see this. That's my wife, by the way, for all those fucks who are wondering. So she went out yesterday. So I told you she had an upset stomach.
Yeah.
She didn't. She was upset because she was like, I'm always alone. And I'm like, well, yeah, you're alone. I work 14 hours a day, and then I sleep for the other fucking like 10.
Yeah.
And so she went out yesterday, and I don't know if I ever told you about Lane. It's one of her exes of like 5 years or some shit.
Yeah.
And she said all this shit about how bad he is and all that. Yeah, she went and hung out with him yesterday while I was at work.
Yeah, I wouldn't be cool with that.
And I didn't find out until I was like, cause fucking, she was home 1 minute, and then randomly she wasn't, and she
Yeah.
didn't tell me, and I'm like, so.
No wonder you're
what
here
the
drunk,
fuck?
bro. Fuck, I'd be fucking pissed.
Yeah, I'd be pretty funny.
You're like,
about
I'm
that.
working fucking my dick off.
And I don't know if I told either of you this either, but fucking like 3 weeks ago, she said at first when she was pregnant, she didn't even know if it was my kid.
Yep. Yeah, I remember you telling me that. Something.
Yeah, she said it was either Lane or some fuck named Andrew. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like you telling me this 9 months after he's already been born, and then the 9 months that I spent providing for you while you didn't want to work?
Damn, that was a long time.
Like, what the fuck?
I can't exactly say I'm like super surprised, but still, that's kind of fucked.
I mean, yeah, it's just... Like, you gotta wonder now. Like, I mean, I get he looks like me, but I mean, Lane and I, we both have the blue eyes, the brown hair, and all that shit.
Your kid's a chunky boy.
He is.
He's a badass like his father.
Hey, fuck you, you
I say to
bastard.
the man with the only one in the room with the six-pack.
Wait, me?
Yeah.
Oh, why, thank you. You're so muddy. It's actually 8 now, by the way.
Oh,
As I continue to get fatter.
You
I thought it
lost
was
20
like
pounds, you bitch.
That's only because of the stress due to my body from work.
It's still 20
It's
pounds,
called
isn't it?
depression. Fuck off.
Nah, depression, I can beat that. That ain't shit to me. But overexhaustion, that's a real different thing.
It was literally killing you.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, no, fucking... as soon as they said, I literally told Chang, he's the foreman, he's like, you're the next one to go to the concentrator. I'm like, the day that happens is the day I will walk off this fucking job. From all the shit that Preston was saying, absolutely fucking not.
So for the people that don't know, I worked at a place called the Concentrator. Joey works for the same company at a place called the Smelter, and we're not going to specify which company we work for, or what company that we're contracted to through that company. But anyways, we were overworked. At least I was extremely overworked.
I'm about to be with those 7 on and 1 off.
Yeah,
Dude,
I
they
was
almost
working-
gave us no days off at all, and just were working us straight. I'm like,
We were
Fuck
working like
no.
I was at least working 12 hours straight, fucking 3-hour round trip to work and home. So 15 hours roughly about outside of the
I'm
house.
at 14 because it takes about an hour for me to get to work. Sometimes it takes that hour and a half because I leave at 3:30, not having to be there till 5. But the traffic, dude, as soon as I hit the freeway, fucking stop.
Yeah.
And it's
but
fucking ridiculous.
I'd work like 8 12-hour shifts in a row, and then I get 1 day off, 6 to 12 hours in a row, 1 day off. 8
They
on.
tried to have me work today. I would have been on for 11 days straight.
Yeah, and it's just overexertion at this point, like overworking.
I can't believe you even came over here to get drunk.
Dude,
I'd be fucking sleeping my dick off.
yeah, right, dude. I got a kid at home. You think I'm going to be able to sleep?
Oh, so yeah, my bad. You don't fucking sleep at all.
Exactly. Dude, I get home at 6 a.m. I sleep. I get woken up at like 10:30. I get 4.5 hours of sleep, and then I got to go to work for 12.
Yeah, and that's what a lot of companies don't.
And I'm like, I'm
realize.
fucking... And when I get to work, I'm like, I'm fucking exhausted. Everyone's like, why are you exhausted? You just had fucking all these hours. I'm like, I have a kid who... And for some reason, my wife does not, like, keep him away so I can sleep. She lets him climb on my face, and it wakes me up. And I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me.
A lot of companies don't think like, oh, we have a life outside of work, and a lot of companies just don't realize.
But
that
there
we
are
have
those
life.
some that do.
No one
Yeah.
fucking lives to work. We work so we can like.
We
live
work
in
so
a
that way we
different sense.
can live.
Yeah,
Like-
if you live to work, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Or they got a pretty fucking fantastic job. I mean, I was looking. There's like one that goes and tests water slides. They make like $90K a year, and they literally just go test fucking water slides.
Yeah.
And
That
then there's a
sounds
guy
fucking badass.
in, I don't remember what state it was, but he climbs to the top of a tower twice a year. It's a 20,000 foot tower, and he has to climb it. And I get that fucking that sucks. He makes fucking, so for every step, he makes 20 grand. So literally, he has to climb up once and down once. That's 40 grand right there. He makes 80 grand a year because he has to do it twice a year.
Yeah.
And then he's off the entire rest of the fucking
Wait, what
year.
does he climb this fucking big ass tower for?
He has to literally change one fucking light bulb at the top of the tower.
Oh, are you talking about the Empire State?
No.
No.
The Empire State has a fucking elevator that they take up.
Yeah. That's a different one that I was thinking.
It's like a warning light tower for something.
Yeah.
And he climbs up there, fucking changes one light bulb. That's fucking amazing. I mean, dude, imagine working. He probably works about 2 weeks out of the year because you got to climb up. You got to get like elevated and acclimated. That's what it's called.
Acclimated to-
And then you got to go up again and all that, and keep climbing up a little bit each day, so that way you don't try and climb 20,000 feet and kill yourself in a day.
Yeah.
But I mean, fuck $80,000 I gotta climb twice a year.
I'm sure he has like all the equipment.
Yeah, he's got this safety harness and everything. And honestly, when you're going down with the fall protection and stuff, you don't actually have to climb down. It literally, it's a stopper. It lets you go. It's basically like a self-propeller.
Yeah,
and it drops.
Towers.
Yeah,
like a yo-yo,
I used to work the cell towers, and it's the same thing. Literally, you hold the thing. Like there's a lever on the side of it. You push it up, it lowers you down. You just drop the lever every once in a while, and it stops you. And I mean, he has to climb up 20,000 feet. That's probably exhausting as hell. Mm-hmm. Change a light bulb. He takes up like 6 of them just in case like a light bulb doesn't work or something like that. You don't want to have to go all the way down and then climb another 20,000 feet to do it one more time.
Well, granted, that light bulb's actually probably heavy. It's probably a big fucking light bulb.
Yeah, apparently it's like fucking like 1.5 feet wide. And I mean, they're dangling as he's climbing because he's, because who the fuck wants to like have him in like a pouch or some shit? Because I don't even know how that'd work.
Today's episode, light bulb lore.
Apparently. But no, it's more work lore because Preston got started on work or some shit.
Work lore with light bulbs.
I just recently quit my job, for the viewers that don't know, because of health and safety reasons due to this company overworking and using their employees instead of seeking help from other places. They just reused an unsafe employee to the point where it was dangerous to their health and safety.
Dude, they were supposed to get another like 5 or 6 employees for the shutdown at the smelter. They got 2.
Yeah.
So now we're in teams of 3 doing the work of, I think it's, let's see, so 6 plus the 2. So like there's supposed to be like 5 teams. Yeah, there's 2 teams doing the work of 5. And the shutdown was only supposed to be 3 weeks with those people. And they're like, oh, it's only going to be 3 weeks. I'm like, bullshit. That's going to turn into like 5 weeks. And then after the shutdown, everything it breaks because everything's been off for a few weeks. Everything's got to get reheated up, parts break and stuff like that. And it's just going to be an even bigger mess. And apparently we're only going to be getting another 1 day off every week pretty much after that until everything's fixed. Yeah. I'm like, I'm going to be working 7 days with 1 day off for the next like 6 months. I'm like, I'm not down for that. I mean, the money's going to be fucking great, but I mean...
You have a life.
It's it's not like you're climbing a tower twice a year and making $90K.
Exactly. I'm fucking working my ass off, making probably like 60 at the end of it.
I mean, at the rate that you're going, you'll probably make 70 to 80. But that's
still
not worth your health and life and like the time that you can spend with your wife and
like
kids.
The things that I've already missed, like the first step and shit like that. Like it's fucking ridiculous. I'm like,
if I get it, like if you like work 40 hours a week, 50 hours a week, and you manage to miss that, like that's understandable.
Yeah, but I'm gonna be working 7 days a week.
12-hour shifts.
12-hour shifts. That's what, like 84 hours. I think it is. I think it's 84 hours.
84 hours, yeah.
Yeah, and
the rest of your time is just you sleeping because you're so fucking exhausted.
2 hours of commute every day, so you're spending 14 hours outside of your house.
So take that 84 plus 14. That's how many hours a day I'm away from my fucking home.
Yeah, and
then whatever's left, I sleep, and it's like I sleep as much as I can, and then after that point, I'm too exhausted to want to deal with anything.
Yeah, I mean
like fuck.
And like let's say you only get 8 hours of sleep, and then you take that 14 hours. You maximize your time. You take only an hour to eat and sleep, shower. And that means you only got an hour of time with your wife and your
exactly.
Your son.
It's like
that's a big issue within America today. Like even my younger sister, she's not even 18 yet, but she is working at a not a fast food place, but like a restaurant. But like they're so short staffed because they only got 1 server, 1 hostess.
Also, nobody fucking wants to work because of the conditions, so everybody's fucking overworked.
Yeah.
And then that's going to cause more people not going to want to work, and it's just going to everything's going to go down a spiral. Nobody's going to be working. Nobody's going to want to work because the company is going to overwork them if they do.
And they can just get money from the government if they don't work.
Exactly. Everything's going to go take a shit down the drain, and it's all just going to get fucked.
Yeah, but like you fucking have to because fucking the diesel fuels over here is fucking $5.29 a gallon.
And normal gas is what, like $4.59 or some shit?
It's like $4.49 a gallon.
Yeah, something like that.
Car, I took 91 ethanol, and it was like.
And you drive farther than I do, but like I get 20 miles to the gallon. I drive 90 miles to and from work every single day. 90 miles times 7. What? I don't even know the fucking math for that. My car, when it's fully filled up, I got 330 miles to empty. I got 3 fucking trips to and from work. Gotta fill it again.
Yeah.
That's $140 plus in gas in a singular fucking week.
Yeah, I would get about 3 days before I'd have to refuel.
Yeah,
in my
it's
car,
like-
and I got pretty good gas mileage.
Yeah.
But it still cost me about 50. I filled up today. It cost me $59.
It's so ridiculous.
I'm gonna
Like,
fill up
I
tomorrow.
can't-
It's gonna cost me $72.
I don't understand why there's no fucking there's not enough fucking pushback for this fucking bullshit that's going on with it. Even just not even mentioning anything else, just fucking fuel prices.
Are
I have a
fucking
diesel truck. It's a big
ridiculous.
truck, and I understand. Okay, it's not supposed to get good fuel mileage. I get 13.6 miles per gallon because it's lifted and got bigger tires on it. When I bought it in 2020 during COVID, from empty to full, it would cost me $55 to fill up. Now from empty to full is 127 plus, and I work way closer than these guys do. And a round trip from my home to work every day is $10. I basically pay my truck more than federal minimum wage to drive
get
it.
to work.
Just to get to work.
I'm
I'm paying
like-
it more than some companies actually pay their employees.
Like we all had cars back when gas prices were down. I'd pay like $35 to fill my car.
Yeah.
Now I pay $73
I've
to fill
almost
my
had
car.
this car for 2 years. When I first got it, it would cost me $25 to fill the tank. It's almost costing me $60.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that when we were driving to and from work. It only cost like 25, maybe 30 at most.
Yeah.
And now it's ridiculous.
That's absolutely absurd. And this is affecting so many people in such a hard way. That's such an extra
Especially the
cost on
people
someone.
where they are getting paid minimum wage to go to a job that's far out there, and fuck, you're literally paying, like you said, you're paying
losing money. Almost.
You're paying more than you're making
Yeah.
on an hourly wage to fucking get to work.
Like an hour drive in my truck and versus an hour of minimum wage, so $7.25 federal minimum wage. An hour in my truck is definitely way over $7.25.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And
even if I had to drive 30 miles to work instead of 60, I would be.
wait, so is it 60 one way?
60 one way.
Jesus
well,
Christ.
59, but still.
So that's
close
still,
enough.
dude. That's like 120 miles in a day.
Yeah.
It's fucking
And you
ridiculous.
just have a little small 4-cylinder car.
Yeah.
It's just what is
How many
he-
cylinders you got?
I got 8. It's a V8.
Oh, we got a
V8
4, 6, and an
diesel.
8.
Yeah, 4, 6.
I got an inline 6, and you got a little 4-banger.
He has
Yeah.
a little 4-banger, the turbo on it. But it's a small 4-cylinder with a turbo. What's the option here? You want him to spend way more on gasoline, or what? Is he supposed to spend more on his car payment to get a Tesla, so he can plug it in, and charge it?
And it still cost me more money at the same time.
Because, the electric
Because
bill at
you're-
that point is going to go up. And
The electricity is not the problem. He could fill it up for $3 for a full fill up
Yeah.
on a Tesla. All right, so
But
on
they-
paper, whatever, that's a lot. That's really cheap. But to buy a Tesla compared to it, he has a nice car. It's a fucking, it's pretty new fucking car and a nice car.
What'd you end up
But
paying,
a Tesla,
40?
a Tesla's fucking, that's a huge payment per month.
it is.
And it's not like any of us we make pretty decent money for where we live.
We do.
And none of us can really afford a Tesla still. We can barely afford
But-
fucking rent.
It sucks because even with 4 people living in a moderate house, not super expensive, not super cheap,
A house built in '99.
and we still have to pay exorbitant prices. We work and we make higher paying jobs than most people, and we're still considered upper middle
Dude,
class.
fucking.
But we
So I
still
saw
struggle.
a thing the other day for renting a 2-bed house or something in Utah. You need a minimum of $24 an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, I seen
Minimum.
that too. I seen
And I'm
that
like,
too.
if that's the fucking minimum, imagine the people who don't make that much. They make let's say 18 or something like that, and they live alone. I get most people who live alone aren't going to buy a house, but this is purely hypothetical, okay? They got to pay rent, or mortgage, whatever they want to do. Car payments, gas, fucking utilities, all that stuff. Making 18 when the minimum technically is 24 just for the fucking house payment. How the fuck are people supposed to survive on that shit?
It's ridiculous. It's increased. Like, wages have not increased to compensate for inflation, and not even just inflation, just increased prices. I have the same exact job as my father, and he raised a family of 3, and his wife. Not raised his wife, but like he supported a family. Yeah. Supported a family on the same job, and now his house is worth $500,000. And like, I have the same job as he does, and I couldn't. The house I'm living in right now, I could not afford by myself. Yeah, and it's not even worth as much.
Like, I make what my dad made when he bought his house, right? And my dad was supporting me, my brother, and my mom at the time because she didn't work because she was there with us. I make the same amount that he did then. I couldn't even fucking dream about getting that house. No. Like, there's no fucking way. That house. So back when he bought it, I think it was $210,000 or something like that.
I fucking wish.
Right? And now I think I saw the estimate. I think it's like $579.
Oh my god.
Or $6, something like that. Especially with all the renovations and the added patio and the hot tub and all that shit. I'm like, how in the fuck are people like us nowadays with the inflation and everything? How the fuck are we supposed to pay for something like that?
They literally, like, even if you don't increase wages, say all these fucking companies are fucking greedy as fuck, which they fucking are. Yeah. But say if all the prices stayed the fucking same. All right, literally, like, life would be 1,000 times better if you could keep everything the same. Just bring rent down. Bring rent down.
Bring your rent down. Absolutely.
Make it easier to qualify for a mortgage.
Like, if you go back 3 years. For example, our place that we live in with 4 people, 5 bedrooms, and one room for a studio. So 4 people living in there.
Dude, you'd probably be paying like half about what you're now.
$1,500 a month.
What are you paying now? Like
my parents were renting out a house 5 years ago. That was 5 bedrooms, $1,500 a month.
Dude, 3 years ago, I was renting an apartment. It was $900 a month. That same apartment I looked a few weeks ago, it's $1,600. It's a fucking studio apartment.
Jesus Christ.
One bed, like it's like a studio apartment separated by a door, and you've got one bathroom. It's like $1,600 a month. Yeah. And I got a kid and a wife. I got to get at least a 2-bedroom.
Yeah.
And I mean, yeah, I've found a few that are like 16, but that's just the rent. That's not including your utilities, garbage, trash, internet, all that. After that, I'm going to be paying $1,900 a month.
Absolutely absurd. No one can live, and then you're going to punish the people who can't, like the homeless people, tell them to get a job. It doesn't fucking matter if they have a job or not. Some of them fucking do.
Dude, I mean, if they go get a job, I mean, if they're homeless, their resume may not be up to date, some things may be wrong, they're gonna have to go towards those minimum wage jobs. Where the fuck are they gonna live?
Well, like, you can have a good job and still be fucking homeless. They could have a job making more than you, but they still can't get a fucking house. The house is for the fucking elite now. So you will own nothing and you will be fucking happy.
At least where we live, I know there's some places in at least America that housing's still somewhat cheap. But for example, like I was saying, parents, like, you go back 3-4 years from now, this house we would be paying like $1,200 to $1,500 a month.
Like my parents,
and that's like total. Right now, we're paying almost that per person, $750 a month, where it's $2,900.
No, literally, I looked at the price history of this home. This home was built in like '98.
Yeah.
When this house was first sold, it was like $119,000.
Yeah.
This house today, if we were to buy it, is $470,000.
Yeah.
Even if you factor in inflation, that is like 400. Like, it's an insane amount percentage more expensive, higher than inflation would have took it.
Yeah. Okay, like my parents bought their house 2009, 2010, around there, and it was the $200,000. Like, like if you take in perspective about how long, you know, people normally live at a house, it hasn't been very long since they bought the house, because most people live in a house 30-40 years, you know, depending on if everything goes
Especially the older generation.
Exactly. their house, like, it went from 200,000 to 600,000 in what, 12 years?
Yeah.
Like, that's what, triple?
Yeah, it's
Like,
ridiculous
what the
at
fuck?
this point.
How did this turn into a drunk rant?
don't know.
We're drunk, that's how.
We're drunk and angry at capitalism, I guess.
Capitalism isn't a bad thing. It is actually a really good thing, but how people are extorting money due to limited housing, supplies, and stuff like that is ridiculous, and that is partially due to how the country is ran.
And it's a self-feeding problem. It's just like we're complaining about a lot of our house prices and rent prices, but at the same time, it's what we had to do. It self-feeds because a lot of these corporate industries buy a fuckload of these houses, right? And guess what? We're renting from a fucking corporate industry.
Well,
this
I mean,
house
you
is
kinda-
owned by a fucking company.
You kind of fucking have to. How else are you supposed to find a place to
Yeah,
live?
That's literally how we had to do it because of how the circumstances presented itself.
Yeah, so
We buy our
it's
house 3 years ago
self-feeding. It's
because-
our we're making the problem worse, but it's what we had to do. Like, what are we supposed to do? Get a fucking shitty ass studio apartment for $1,600 and
fuck
can barely
that.
fucking live,
Fuck
or
that.
we can satisfy our corporate overlords and get a home.
And I was making shit pay, and so was the other guy. So I had 2 people in that fucking apartment. You remember that?
Yeah, I do, and that was shitty.
It was a fucking
That was
terrible
fucking
apartment.
shitty.
That was years ago, and like things have only gotten worse.
I know,
and
dude.
worse,
And now
it's
I'm
getting
looking.
out of
I'm gonna have to
hand.
pay for a fucking $1,900 apartment by myself. Granted, I'm making more. I make like, I'd say about what, like $10 more.
Aren't
more.
you getting
about?
a good discount though? But you kind of have to.
But that's only if I go with a specific apartment. But I mean, $10 an hour more. It seems like quite a lot.
But with the inflation,
But
it's
also,
actually-
then
it's not
you gotta
enough. You're
also
like,
add though, like the extra kid, the extra person, and everything. It basically cancels itself out, and sometimes it takes even more. And it's like, what
And
the
it
fuck?
happens so fast it doesn't even give time for like wages to catch up. It literally the past 2 years, like every few months, I've increased my wages like substantially.
Yeah.
And I haven't really reaped the benefit of increased wages.
That's how it's been for me too,
The
'cause
prices
before-
have just increased so fast that it doesn't matter how fast I increase my wage. It's just not enough.
Like this last one, I was at the 15, then to the 17, jumped up to the 24. But before that, when I was working at the living at the other apartment, when I first started there, I was making like 10.
Yeah.
Then I jumped up to 15. That's $5. That's a pretty substantial
Yeah,
jump.
$5 fucking dollars an hour.
And then you jump to something, $2 and something cents. That's still a pretty significant jump in a little bit of time. And then you jump to this, but since circumstances between then and now changed, that jump really doesn't mean shit.
Especially with all this fucking greed and like the fuel prices. Like oil per barrel or whatever is just like it's still cheaper than it was in 2008. Yeah, fuel prices are higher than they ever were during the 2008 recession here in America.
Yeah, and it sucks because like we live in this house. We have 4 people, and I don't remember how much you make exactly, but it is in the mid 20 range per person an hour. And we work a fair amount of hours. Like personally, like the last couple of weeks I worked at my last job, I was working 70 plus hours a week, and it was
that's
so rough.
that's where I'm
Well,
gonna
this
be.
household's combined income is roughly like what? Well into the 200,000 a year.
Yeah.
And
Well
we-
into it,
Yeah,
yeah.
Still
well
straight
into
line.
it. And like we can do it, but
I feel like it's more. I mean,
we're not even fully
we're
furnished.
gonna consider that as if he was still at that job, right? So you'd probably with the hours that you're working after take home, you'd probably be making about $87,000 a year. You make more than we do, don't you?
Same.
Same?
Not at the moment.
Okay.
At the moment, I make the same as you guys.
Okay, and
but,
so
like,
the same. You work probably a little less hours.
yeah. It was like
So, but still, I'd say probably roughly $70,000 a year, right? If he was
$60-$70 and
65, 70, I'd say. If he was at where he was, he'd be making about 56, 60, depending on the hours. And with the other one working the same we are, he's probably about at like 87,000 where we are at. If you combine all that, him and the one down there alone are almost at 200K. You're at 8 plus 8, that's 190,000. Then you add yours, you're at 260,000. You add him, you're at 300 and something $1,000 a year. and it's still fucked.
Yeah, it's still difficult.
You tell me, like, so $300,000 a year for just a family home.
No, you're at more.
98.
You're at 357-ish, around there, 1,000 a year for like a family home, and it's still fucking a struggle.
So you're telling me if you just want to be the breadwinner, you want a wife that stays at home, takes care of the kids, and does all the household items. You're telling me you have to make to live the way that we do, which isn't like super glamorous or anything. You have to make over $300,000 a year.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because
That
I
is
mean, like,
fucked.
it's really shitty because, like, even as like, think about it, like, we do pretty well for ourselves, especially with four young men, 20 to 22 years old, that haven't gone through college. We still do pretty good for ourselves, but we're like, still statistically speaking, we are higher middle class to lower high class.
Mm-hmm. And it's still
wages,
a fucking
but we
struggle.
Still are living the middle class to lower middle class life because of the fact that the inflation
with the inflation and how everything's so fucking expensive.
We may be blue collar, but like the job that at least I'm in, and I guess I would consider you guys too, or you were, is like this job is blue collar, but considered a career. It's a career job, just like a couple years ago. It's still considered that today, but like, how do you live off this?
But a career, most of the time during that career, you get bumps up. There's a guy at the place that I'm at. He makes less than I do. He's been there for 3 years.
And he's two fucking positions above you.
Exactly. And they're thinking about bumping me to the same position he is. And I'm like, I don't know what the hell I'm going to do. But the only reason they have to do that is because they have nobody else. They don't have any fucking workers.
Because they don't give raises out. They'll probably bump you up and not give you that raise. They'll promise you that raise.
Yeah, and see, at that point, that's when I'm like, at the last job, they said they were going to get it. And I got it. It took maybe like 2-3 months?
Yeah.
But I got it. This guy has been waiting on this fucking raise because they started him at 22. Yeah. He's been waiting. He's been a foreman for 2 years. He's been waiting on this raise for 2 years. And guess what? They're probably going to give him a fucking $1.
Yeah.
Which is absolutely fucking ridiculous. But if anything came, I'm not saying that was a good thing, but like if anything good came from COVID, was that people fucking kind of just like realized, oh, we were kind of being abused. Wait, you're telling me this whole time we could have worked from home? You're telling me this whole time that the people actually have power against these big ass fucking corporations? Like, wouldn't it be funny if everyone just fucking like unionized or just quit? Oh, I mean, wow, the table's turned. It's like it's almost like your entire business relied on your fucking employees. That's kind of weird, isn't it?
So my sister, she started her job during COVID, you know, and so she was at the very beginning when it was so very fucking serious. So everybody was working from home, right?
Yeah.
She's worked there for 3 years. She started at fucking $18 an hour. She's at $29 an hour now. Like,
wow, she's making that much now, huh?
Yeah. And not the one you know, Emma. Okay. The other one.
Okay.
And I mean, that is amazing. And I mean, and she works at home. She does computer stuff. And then I start to think, I'm like, our job, we literally were risking our lives because of the stupid shit that we have to do.
We worked in a very dangerous environment. Heights, working in
chemicals, hazardous, everything.
Gases that to the point where certain gases they can damage
you get a single smell of too much, you're dead.
Yeah, to that
and it's
in some cases.
And I just don't get, how do we make less?
Yeah.
Like, I get she's been there a while, she's earned it, but still.
But you know, if you did the same thing that she has, if you've been there a while, you've earned it, well, they're not going to fucking pay you more. They're not going to pay you more unless they have to. And if anyone should take anything, if anyone's listening, it is still it's us. We do have the power. It doesn't matter what industry the company you work for is in. They need employees. Robots can't replace you yet. You have the power. Basically, it doesn't matter what company. If everyone just fucking strikes, it cripples them. It loses them millions of dollars when they're paying you fucking pennies on that.
If a company is saying, oh, here in a few years, robots are going to replace you, I'm like, then where the fuck are they?
Yeah.
And that last job, they did get the robot. They did.
Yeah.
But they had been saying robots are going to be replacing you for, what, 6 years,
Those
probably.
robots, us.
Yeah, exactly. Like, they're not fully automated. You still have to have a person there running the machine.
It's going to be the people that have been there for a year, 2 years, 3 years, all the way up to 20 years that are going to be there running the robot.
It doesn't matter what industry you're in. You could be fucking working at Wendy's. There's going to be some quirk or some weird instance that you've dealt with before and know how to do it that some robot isn't going to know, at least yet in this time frame.
Yeah, for example, like in the job I just had and the one that Joey over there just currently has, like there's certain circumstances where you have to use the sense of touch to understand what is exactly happening inside of like a pipe that you are cleaning out with a water
Absolutely.
hose, and you need to see like you are able to fill with your hands.
Also
like,
with
there's a blockage there
with
on
yours,
the
with
side.
like the rubber and stuff like that, the robot's not gonna know. It's just gonna blast as hard as it can to get what it needs to get done.
Because we dealt with a lot of high pressure water, and like some metals can handle that, some metals can't, and rubber definitely cannot.
Oh, absolutely not. No.
Yeah, my opinion might be a little fucking biased here because I'm in one, but honestly, like, especially with like, you know, places like fucking Amazon and with all the federal laws fucking protecting you, fucking unionize. I'm in a union and that shit is fucking baller. I don't.
Dude, I'm tempted. I've seen some offers for places like yours. I'm like, oh, I'm fucking tempted, you know?
Because literally, bro, a huge thing that everyone complains about in America is our cost of healthcare.
Oh,
it is
my
incredibly ridiculous. Like, dude, you fucking break your foot, you're fucked. You're just absolutely fucked. But like, I'm in a union. I just pay my union dues, which is super cheap. I don't pay for fucking healthcare. So my
Trust
wages
me, I know I'm fucked. When I put that
go
fucking
into
bar
my
through my
fucking
foot,
paycheck, and I just get to fucking keep it. Not only do I not pay for healthcare, I have an IRA that like basically is added hourly wage to me. It just goes to a healthcare fund, so I can get reimbursement on anything that happens to me. And I just have a whole bunch of protections as like employee rights. Basically, like, they're not allowed. Specifically within my union, they're not allowed to force me to work past 60 hours if I do not want to. That is incredible. Meanwhile, you guys are getting butt fucked.
Yeah.
Forced to work like 7 days plus.
what sucks is that
straight.
they're literally threatening our job. Like, say you don't come in. Like, okay, so they're not going to threaten your jobs because they don't have enough people. They barely have enough people for what they want to do now. If they try and threaten somebody that just came on, like me, who the fuck's going to want to work there? I've been there for what, 2.5 months? We've been there for 2.5 months?
Yeah.
And they're throwing us right into this shit that some people who have been there for 2 years don't even know what the fuck they're supposed to be doing?
Yeah.
And the foreman I'm working with during that has only been there for 6 months. So he has no idea what the fuck he's doing
I think
either.
all these companies are just going to find out real fucking quick that their old way of thinking just isn't going to work anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, guess what? You're going to fuck over one employee. The other employees fucking are going to hear about it. All right, what are you going to do when everyone just fucking leaves?
And like, it's
Nothing. There's not going to be a fucking thing they
You're
can
just
do.
going to lose fucking millions of dollars.
This company, they've been trying to get temps, but guess what? Nobody wants to fucking come out here.
Yeah, and I had like a situation like we worked for a pretty massive company at this point. Like we have across several states doing several subcontracts for.
And the stuff that they
major
produce
companies.
goes all over the fucking United States. Goes
And
everywhere.
past that, like national, and it's
yeah.
wild. And like, for example, like we work in a place where we have a stop work authority where we can stop work if we feel like it's unsafe.
Oh, but then they have the foremen who are like, "Oh, we don't give a shit," and they try to continue working.
And that's why I ended up leaving my job last time.
As damn well you should have.
They asked me
Absolutely.
to put my life in danger for no reason after they were working me to the brink of death at that point.
And
already.
isn't it fucking sad that if the Stop Work Authority wasn't like an MSHA and OSHA like federally thing,
it wouldn't be a fucking thing.
It wouldn't be a thing at all. The company would just say, "Hey, go fucking die for fucking measly $24."
And it's like, and if you don't do it, you're fired. It's like, well, fuck me. I guess I'm fired then.
Oh yeah, if I'm
Stop
fired.
being a baby if you can't handle this work. You shouldn't be in it. And I'm like, you are literally asking me to put my life on the line for you. I'm not being a baby. I value my life more than I do you or your company. I'm not doing it. Bye.
Also, for reference to the people who are hearing about this is when I was talking about earlier is when I double tapped and heart reacted to the fucking fingers and the fists. It's the same person that we're talking about right now.
My boss asked me to put my life on the line for a job that would cost the company hundreds of thousands of dollars But that would be nothing, and
that's chump change in the lawsuit and shit. If you die, it's fucking nothing. Especially because if somebody dies on site, they have to stop everything because then they have to do the investigation. Like MSHA will come out and do the investigation. That's going to cost you hundreds of thousands,
if not millions.
Half of these companies, if you died, if those laws didn't exist, if you died like while working, they just fucking probably just bury you.
They're like, oh, well, he's here somewhere. If you can find him, congratulations.
We need to keep working this mine so some fucking dude can have their iPhone.
And by law, I was allowed to say, hey, no, I'm not willing to do this job. There's a serious risk to my health and life at this point.
I think there's something against them firing you for it, too. Like, you quit. I know, you quit. But if you say you're not going to do it, I know in our state there's the free to work. Yeah. But our main place isn't in Utah, so they don't have that rule. Our main place is in Texas, where they don't have that law. They don't have that rule, so they cannot fire you for no reason, and they cannot fire you for stop work authority. That's the no work authority. That's the MSHA thing. They can't fire you for that because it's MSHA, but they also can't fire you for no reason because it's not this state's rules.
I experienced a form of harassment after I even left the next day.
Yeah, that was the fucking fingers and the fists.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, from my superintendent, my main boss that I communicated with daily, and I was like, really? Like, I mean, I could go sue for harassment.
It's like
it's going up against a multi-million-dollar, if not billion-dollar company.
Not to mention,
I know, and at that point, it's just going to cost you more money than it's going to do.
They fucking begged you to work after your last day.
Yeah, this was the day after my last day because I already put on my 2 weeks I guess not 2 weeks, but like.
Well, the doctor said you were fucking dying.
That was for your medical stuff, and then he decides to try and pull that shit. It's like, I do not get that either. It's like during your last 2 weeks, they try to work your ass off, and it's like, I wouldn't put my 2 weeks in if I didn't know what I was gonna do, and you may not, but that at some point you'll have what you need.
Yeah.
And they try to work your ass like you're not able to leave or go anywhere. It's like, I can fucking leave right now and not give two fucks.
I could go pretty much anywhere to any major company and be like, hey, I know you're shorthanded. This is the skills I have. This is what I think I can do for you. And they would probably be like, okay, cool. Sign this paper. You're hired.
Because there's such a short... People will realize their independence. People are realizing, since COVID and, everyone, just wasn't working, they realize that there's so much more in life that they could be doing.
Yeah.
All the opportunities they have. There's so much... people forgot kind of what the American dream was. You pursued your passions, almost.
Yeah, but at this point, pursuing our passion, it's damn near impossible.
You can't have passions because you work too much.
Exactly.
What are you supposed to do as your hobby? You don't have time to play a fucking video game for 30 minutes. You have a fucking kid and responsibilities.
Yeah.
At this point, only thing I can consider a passion is fucking sleep. Fuck, dude. Seriously.
Companies do get that. I just had an interview with a company that was like, you'd be working 40 hours a week, max 50, but they'd be paying me almost double what I was making at my last job. And they're like, and it's entry level, we'll train you on how to do everything you need to know.
Yeah, that's the one. That's also the one that I was telling you about. It's the same way. It's not double. It can be if I work my ass off, and show that I know what I'm doing. But I mean, it's Monday through Friday. They have either 8 or 10 hour shifts. You can choose. So, I mean, I'm working 40, 50 hours.
Yeah.
Instead of this fucking 84 hours in a week bullshit, I'll be making the same amount of money, if not more, for working 40 hours a week.
Yeah.
And it's why the fuck would I stay where I'm at? Yeah. What's the entire fucking point? If I can go somewhere else, make the same fucking amount.
And be treated better.
And be treated better and not be missing out on shit in the life that I'm supposed to be able to have.
Yeah, because I work to live. I don't live to work. That's what a lot of people in companies don't understand. I get it. Because my safe place is work. I love to work, and I love to be able to get out there and work a blue collar job where I can push my body.
We don't like sitting at home. It's just we enjoy the relaxing time when we get it, But it's not. We don't just want to sit at home
because there's a sweet spot, and that's why all these other countries have experimented with and seen the proven results. you get like the example. If you do, studies have been shown, like if you do 3-day weekends, all right, less hours, production goes up, happiness goes up, and because there's more free time, more money actually goes into the economy. It's just better all around. And this is like one of the only things I think California has ever fucking had a brain cell about is because they proposed like some bill to make it so any hour after 32 hours a week is overtime instead of the 40.
Yeah, which is great.
Like, could you imagine?
Which is weird because at the company we're at, it's not a certain amount of hours a week. It's after a certain point during the day. So after 9 hours of work, everything after is overtime. So I work 12 hours. So if I work a single day during a week, 9 hours is normal pay, 3 hours is overtime.
Just imagine instead of a 2-day weekend, which you guys don't even fucking get.
Yeah, we don't even fucking get that.
Imagine a 3-day weekend every week.
Oh, dude, it'd be so nice so especially for me and him, we're working night shifts. So my day off, I don't get home till 6 o'clock in the morning. So half of my day off is spent fucking sleeping.
So you get 1 day of recovery, and then you have 2 days of day off.
Yeah. Which would be amazing.
Or even if every other week was a 3-day weekend, which I had a job that was like that. And even if every other week was a 3-day weekend, it was fucking phenomenal. Like, your mental health just increases. Your time to actually do stuff and enjoy your life increases.
Oh, I fucking bet.
And because it's every other week, your kind of budget kind of stays up a little bit.
Yeah.
And like that just improves morale and fucking production and everything. It's been proven time and time again. But like we're
But companies don't understand that. They're like, the more you work, the more money you make, which means the more that we make. And it's like, yes, but the more you're gonna lose people because they're overworked and they're tired. And you're not gonna get any fucking work out of them.
They don't fucking care how much it costs because the cost to train someone is a lot. It's a fucking lot of money to train someone.
And the less money they're gonna make because the new people don't know what the fuck they're doing, so they're not gonna be able to hit that production that they want.
Not to mention you pay them most of the time. You pay them to train. They don't fucking understand how much that costs them, and they could be saving lots of money and having production go up if their morale is better.
Exactly, because the more the morale, the more people are actually going to want to go to work, which means you don't have to keep fucking hiring new people and spending more money on training.
So, for the state that we live in, for a new entry level into a new job where you have to train people with new skills and give them the knowledge that they need to do, which is a lot of companies, believe it or not, it on average costs around $50,000 per employee.
To train
if you
people?
train them right and you treat them well, that $50,000 is going to be made back easily.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Especially if you give them the time off that they need.
But at the jobs like we're at now, like with mine, some of the times, we work a little bit and then we go and fuck around, kind of like, we get some sleep, stuff like that. Those fucking hours that we're sleeping because we're so tired because we're overworked, we could be doing something if we got those extra days off, and so we weren't so fucking tired, so things would get done faster, which means more fucking production.
Well, most of these, like, I'm willing to bet fucking money on it that 90% of these companies have so much overhead that they can afford you to give you more time off and pay you more, and they still come out with a lot of money in their own pockets.
Dude, they're million-dollar companies, multi-million-dollar companies. Of course they have enough fucking money to do that.
So, for example, I know for a fact that there was some jobs that we would have where we would do different things at my last job, and I know there were some jobs that would take us 30 minutes and we would be paid tens of thousands of dollars to do. And I don't know about you, but between me and 2 other people that make roughly the same amount of me, and plus the material cost, it doesn't cost anywhere close to tens of thousands of dollars, maybe $1,000 and $2,000 max.
Yeah, which there's nothing wrong. There's absolutely nothing wrong if you create this company and you're making like a fuckload of money. There's nothing wrong with making a fuckload of money.
As long as you treat your employees right.
There is something wrong though with just overworking and exploiting the fucking American people.
Like, let's say
or just people in general, not even just American people, like human lives with fucking families.
People who are coming to work, like taking time off, I guess there's the shit they could be doing, but obviously here you gotta fucking work to be able to do the shit that you want to do. They're fucking giving up valuable time with me being a new dad and everything like that, and giving up time with my kids so that way I can work to support my family, and I'm getting dicked. They see you work your ass off. They're like, oh yeah, he's a hard worker. Push his ass even more.
Yeah.
And that's what gets people to
expect
fucking
more of it,
quit.
but
It's
actually
like,
don't pay him for what he's worth. And then complain when he fucking probably leaves.
yeah.
You know?
So one experience where I've seen is like where people work their asses off and like don't get paid as much as they should for what they do. Like, so for example, at my last job, we did 10 different jobs, and from what my understanding is it was roughly $15,000 to $30,000 per job, and we completed 5 of them in one night between 3 people. We made roughly the same throughout a 12-hour shift. That was roughly about $700 for the cost of employment, and then like on top of that, there was the office people, which costed about another $300. So like about $1,000 for that 12-hour shift. They made
Probably tens of thousands of dollars
tens
off
of thousands of dollars, but then there's material costs and equipment costs and things.
But
to
all
run
in
them.
total, if you take out all the materials, labor, and stuff like that, it probably costs them maybe $3,000.
The owner of the company, let's say he split it in half. Half of it goes towards the company, half of it goes towards him. He still made roughly $25,000, $30,000 from 12 hours of mine and 2 other people's work, of hard labor of work, and we made roughly $200 a piece. That is
For one
absolute
night. It's fucking
bullshit.
ridiculous. And honest to God, you could probably find a company that does the same job that you do who'll pay you double, triple, and you only do one of those 10 jobs because it's a fucking dangerous job, but you do it repetitively. So instead of like changing up jobs every night like we do, you do that one singular job. They probably pay you double what you make because it's a dangerous fucking job, and they know how much they make. It's just you got to find the company that gives a fuck.
Which none of them do. And every company I've ever worked for, say you start out with an X amount of employees, and then you have 1 or 2 quit for whatever fucking reason. And now your job is to take over not only the job that you had, but you take over not just half of it, part of it, no, completely the other person's job that left. Like, so now you're doing the work of 2 fucking people.
Getting paid the same fucking amount.
Getting paid the same amount, but they're just pocketing whatever money they're saving.
Yeah. And I hate to say it, but like for the most part, life is fair because in all reality, life is unfair to everybody. But there are some people that benefit off of other people because their life is suffering. And life is suffering, but there is the beautiful moments in it. But that's not something to profit off of. And like, fuck. I hate to say it, but like, my time is not worth being paid pennies and risking my life. Like my last job, for example, those 5 jobs, I had to wear a Kevlar suit because we were dealing with high enough pressure water that like if it hit us, pray to God that suit protected you enough that you wouldn't die if you were hit with that water.
Yeah.
I mean, regardless, you would still end up in the hospital getting treated for your injuries, but hopefully you did not die. And they were only willing to pay us $24 an hour, which is ridiculous.
The job that, like one of the jobs that I do, it's fucking dangerous. The second you fall into the hole that you are working near, you're dead.
Yeah.
It's 600 plus degrees inside that giant metal bin, and you're falling into toxic and dangerous shit. You're fucking roasted and fucking burned to shit. You're dead the instant you fall in there, especially because there's no way to get out of that bin. It's just so massive. There's no way for them to get down to you in time to get you out of there. You're dead.
Yeah.
And I get paid $24 an hour to sit up there and work on this shit. And I'm like, what the fuck?
And fall protection only does so much for you. And
especially around 600 fucking degrees.
Yeah.
And since the thing is metal, that 600 degrees, that's gonna fuck that rope up real quick. You're dead no matter what. Fall protection ain't gonna do shit for you.
Yeah, and I hate to say it, but probably my biggest gripe with companies right now is the ones that preach safety. And I will give it to them. The last company I worked for, there was a fair amount of people that actually gave 2 shits about safety. They were like, safety is number 1. But when it came to the people who mattered, there was a few people that did not give 2 shits about it. That's why I ended up quitting on the spot, like I had to do. Even though it was my last day, I left early and said no because of those people who do not care about safety. And safety is a huge part. Like, don't get me wrong. Me personally, I am not scared of death, but I want to choose how I die. I want to die in a way that I am okay with. I'm not going to die over some stupid reason for $24 an hour just because somebody said, hey, I need this done. That is not an honorable way to die.
Mention, it's not like a life-saving job. You're not a fucking firefighter or like a police officer or anything that's like crucial.
And they still get paid shit.
Yeah, they did get paid shit, but you're just like, bro, I'm here to fucking clean shit where people just mine materials for fucking like iPhones and bullshit.
Yeah. Me and Joey, we work for a company that produces copper at a mine. We work for a mining company as a subcontractor, cleaning their equipment, the machinery, and all their facilities. That was just our job, and that requires a lot of dangerous things. Mining is one of the most dangerous jobs in the world, where there's one of the highest fatality rates, and there's a lot of things that can kill you: crushing, falling, toxic gas, human error, everything.
Dust, heat, fucking. Let's say, like one of the things at my area, if it gets wet, it turns into like an acidic cement. Yeah. So it's acidic and it fucking hardens like a motherfucker. I got that shit on my arms one time. It looked like I had taken fucking razor blades to my arms because of the cuts and everything from having to scrub it off. Because it had already hardened. So I'm just sitting there scrubbing fucking hard ass shit off my arms, and it looked like I was cutting up my fucking inside of my elbows with a goddamn razor blade. And I mean, how are you supposed to work? Like, you're moving your arms all night long and you're just rubbing those fucking cuts all over each other. It hurts like a motherfucker.
Like, for example, deaths for miners in Utah. I'm looking that up right now. I mean, not in Utah, where we live, but in America is in, like, there's an average of, like, 29 deaths per year from work hazards. And granted, a lot of them are due to people being unsafe. But
yeah, human error. But, I mean... But you also got to take into account some of those are probably because somebody else was being stupid and it cost somebody a life.
Like I know not too long ago.
Like I don't know if somebody mentioned something earlier about a spike steamroller.
Yeah, that was me. Somebody died recently because somebody was like, "Oh, I'm going to cross this traffic because I think I can beat the steamroller," which was spiked for
and that
aerating holes in the ground.
The person who got injured. That is their fucking mistake. And terrible thing that happened to him. But again, in training, you're literally supposed to be told, do not fucking try and beat the machines. You will not win.
Yeah.
Like those fucking haul trucks at the mines. Those things are fucking massive.
Yeah.
Like, you'll be like a fucking ant under a boot. Like, there's no hesitation. You're dead.
Like,
it's fucking ridiculous.
What were they saying? It was like 100 yards of around you of like blind spot, regardless of what you're doing or where you're at, what slant you're on, regardless of where you're at.
And like at the place that I work, there's trucks that haul hot metal. You have to be at least 30 feet away from the road, because if you are crossing that road and that truck has to stop, that's going to pour molten metal and rock all over the truck, melt through the truck, and kill the person inside, and probably you too. If it gets to you, it'll kill you too, because that metal is glowing red. That's probably a few thousand degrees hot. It's gonna melt right through your fucking ass real quick.
And the shame about this is a lot of people are trained how to deal with these situations, the safety that's involved. But the biggest issue is they are in such a rush because the people actually out at the sites are rushing them, saying, "Hey, I don't give two shits about your safety. Get the job fucking done."
Yeah, that's how it is.
And they need to do what they say, or else they're going to lose their job, or they're not going to be able to provide for themselves or their families.
And therefore starts the issue that we got started on with all this, which is the fucking minimum wage, having to find a new job, and all that shit.
Yeah.
It comes right back to the same fucking problem, which is what I think Nico was saying. Like, it's a whole fucking loop. Like, starts here, things go wrong, things get worse, somebody quits, somebody gets hurt, somebody dies, they have to find something else. They find a new place, they start, something goes wrong, something goes worse, and it's just a whole fucking vicious cycle that just goes over and over and over again.
It's self-feeding, and you can apply
That's what you said, self-feeding.
You can apply that principle to almost anything, too. It's even with, like...
Pretty much.
You can even apply that as an example as, like, males versus females. It's a self-feeding thing. Like, oh, women are assholes. Oh, but men are assholes, and it just feeds each other.
You're all a bunch of fucking assholes, in my opinion.
Wall. Anyways, I think we're fucking out of time.
Yeah, it's...
Welcome to Drunk Rant Cast. Just a bunch of drunk fucking boomers and we're acting
Don't call me a boomer, bitch.
You're a fucking Karen. We're all fucking Karens just complaining about fucking capitalism.
If you don't like it, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, go fuck yourself.
Before this podcast ends, I want to say capitalism can be a really good thing. It can be.
I will agree with
thing.
you. It definitely can be if it's run by the right people. Because in the wrong hands, it's going to benefit only the people at the very fucking top, which is what's happening.
Yep.
Which is why, at the moment, capitalism is fucked.
Yep.
Well, capitalism in America is kind of fucked, but still,
yeah,
maybe it's not the best on paper, but like it's still the best that we got. It's still way better in communism, because in communism and socialism, guess what? It always ends up as the top people getting the most shit.
That's exactly how it always works.
Anyways, see you next time. Maybe some extra chromies or less chromies. Maybe
Who
won't be as much
knows?
as the
There'll
Karen.
be chromosomes anyways, like, so don't worry about it.
Well, we'll pass out some chromosomes here and there.
Yeah, maybe you'll be lucky enough to get some chromosomes from us.
You don't want the chromosomes from us. We're fucking retarded.
And now that we have a fair amount of viewers, like 30 views per video, I would like to...
Which is not
people, 'cause
bad.
There's some people, obviously, that like have come back and have recommended some people. But if you know any people that like fucked up humor or random rants like this, just please let them know. Or
If you
anything
like
spooky.
listening to three idiots drunk and ranting, this is the perfect fucking place
Just
for you.
ranting about basically the same job for like fucking 35 minutes.
Has it really been 35 minutes that
Dude,
we've been
this
ranting about
recording
that
has
shit?
been like 66 minutes so far.
Yeah, that's true. Well, actually, we started ranting about jobs like 10 minutes in, so... Sorry about the rant about
sorry
jobs,
about
but
zero
again,
fucking
also
humor.
not sorry because you got to listen to a bunch of drunk assholes.
Zero humor, but I'm granted, I'm sure you got some laughs because we're all really drunk.
Drunk assholes.
But if you have any
It's called a
friends,
butt chug.
or you yourself are interested in anything paranormal and or spooky, listen to our Demon Hunters podcast.
If you have any suggestions on what we should rant about next time, also leave that because guaranteed we're going to rant about it at some point anyways.
Yeah.
But for now, I'm just going to pull my dick out.
Yeah, I'm going to suck it. We'll see you later.